The handcuffs bite into Malik's wrists. Cold metal. Sharp edges. Luna screams his name from behind the patrol car window, her small palms slapping against glass that won't break. Red and blue lights slice through the January afternoon, painting the school parking lot in colors that don't belong there. Noah's voice cracks as he yanks on Officer Rusk's sleeve. "That's my dad. Stop. You're hurting him." Parents form a half circle, their phones raised like weapons. Flash. 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 The principal covers her mouth with manicured fingers, whispering to the vice principal. A mother pulls her child closer, as if poverty might be contagious. Malik's knees buckle. The asphalt rushes up to meet his face, rough and unforgiving. His cheekbone presses against concrete still wet from melted snow. He can smell it. The salt, the dirt, the judgment. "Hands behind your head," Rusk barks. His breath reeks of coffee and something else. Something sharp. Aftershave, maybe. Or contempt. "I didn't do anything wrong," Malik says. His voice sounds far away, like it belongs to someone else. "I called 911. I reported finding her. You can check. Save it." Rusk's boot nudges Malik's ribs. Not hard enough to leave a bruise, but hard enough to make a point. "You people always got an excuse." "Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is." The comm officer, Martinez, his badge reads, steps forward. "Sir, there might be a misunderstanding." "No misunderstanding." Rusk yanks Malik to his feet. The world tilts. Spins. Faces blur together. Shocked, disgusted, curious. Mr. Turner here thought he could play house with a millionaire's daughter and nobody would notice. Millionaire's daughter. The words hang in the air like smoke. Malik's brain struggles to catch up. Luna? The same Luna who ate day-old macaroni and wore a thrift store coat 2 sizes too big? The same Luna who cried herself to sleep every night clutching a stuffed bear with one eye missing? Luna's fists pound against the window harder now. Her voice cuts through everything else. "Let him go. He didn't steal me. He saved me." But nobody's listening. The crowd presses closer. A woman in yoga pants films from 3 feet away, her lens zooming in on Malik's face. Someone laughs, short, nervous. A car door slams. The school bell rings, shrill and indifferent. Rusk shoves Malik toward the cruiser. His shoulder clips the door frame. Pain shoots down his arm, sharp and electric. The leather seat is cracked, stained with things he doesn't want to think about. It smells like sweat and fear and 1,000 other people's worst days. Through the metal grate separating front from back, Malik watches Martinez guide Noah toward a social services van. His son's face is soaked with tears, his SpongeBob backpack dragging in the slush. A woman in a gray pantsuit tries to hold his hand. Noah rips away from her grip. "Dad." Noah's voice cracks on the word. "Dad, tell them. Tell them you didn't do it." But the door slams shut before Malik can answer. The cruiser pulls away from the curb. Malik twists in his seat, watching his son get smaller and smaller through the rear window. Luna's still screaming, still pounding. The crowd's already dispersing, phones tucked away, excitement over. Tomorrow they'll tell their families about the kidnapper they saw arrested at Grove Elementary. They'll say they always knew something was off about that quiet man who worked 2 jobs and never smiled. Rusk meets Malik's eyes in the rearview mirror. "Bet you thought you hit the jackpot, huh? Poor single dad finds rich man's kid. Play your cards right. Maybe get a reward." He chuckles. "Low mean. Should have asked for the money up front." Malik doesn't respond. Can't respond. His throat's closed up tight, his chest squeezing like someone's sitting on it. The streetlights blur past. Left turn. Right turn. The city slides by outside. Liquor stores, laundromats, churches with hand-painted signs promising salvation. But the truth behind that arrest would expose more than a kidnapping. It would expose a system built to crush men like Malik before they even open their mouths to defend themselves. What would you do if kindness became your crime? 48 hours earlier, Malik doesn't know her name. The fluorescent light above his head buzzes like a trapped fly. Flicker. Buzz. Flicker. The interrogation room smells like industrial cleaner trying to hide something worse. Old coffee, stale breath, decades of lies told in this exact chair. Malik shifts his weight. The metal seat is bolted to the floor, painted gray, cold even through his jeans. His wrists ache where the cuffs dug in. Red marks circle both wrists like angry bracelets. He rubs them without thinking, trying to erase what can't be erased. Across from him, Sergeant Rusk leans back in his chair, arms crossed, jaw tight. His cologne fights with the bleach smell, something expensive, something that probably costs more than Malik makes in a week. The one-way mirror behind Rusk reflects Malik's face back at him. He looks old, tired, guilty. You really thought you could fool us, huh? Rusk taps his pen against the metal table. Tap, tap, tap. Take in a little girl, play the hero, wait for the reward money to roll in. That's not what happened. Malik's voice comes out rough, broken. He hasn't had water in 3 hours. His tongue sticks to the roof of his mouth. I found her alone, freezing. I called for help. Yeah. You called 911. Rusk flips through a file folder, not really reading, just performing. Convenient that there's no record of that call, though. What? Malik sits up straighter. The chair legs scrape against concrete. I waited 30 minutes. Nobody came. The dispatcher said. The dispatcher said a lot of things, apparently. Rusk's smile doesn't reach his eyes. Funny how these technical glitches always happen when they're convenient. Behind Rusk, the door opens. Martinez steps inside, carrying 2 paper cups. Steam rises from both. He sets one in front of Malik. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. The heat seeps through the thin paper, burning Malik's palms when he lifts it. He doesn't drink, just holds it. Feels something warm for the first time today. Martinez pulls up a chair, sits down slow. His approach is different, softer, quieter. Good cop to Rusk's bad cop. Malik's seen enough crime shows to know how this works. Mr. Turner, Martinez says, his voice careful. We're just trying to understand what happened. No one's saying you meant to hurt anyone. I didn't hurt her. Malik looks Martinez in the eye, holds his gaze. Ask Luna. Ask her yourself. I fed her, kept her warm, tried to find her family. For a week. Rusk leans forward now, elbows on the table. You tried to find her family for a whole week. Didn't contact child services. Didn't bring her to a hospital. Just kept her in your apartment like she belonged to you. The word choice stings. Kept. Like Luna's a pet. Like Malik's some kind of collector. I was protecting her, Malik says quieter now. She was terrified of police. Said someone left her on purpose. Said her daddy. Her daddy is Damon Holloway. Rusk slides a magazine across the table. It's glossy, expensive, the kind sold at airport bookstores to people who fly business class. The cover shows a man in a tailored suit standing in front of a glass mansion that looks like it belongs on a different planet. Luna sits on his shoulders, tiny crown tilted on her head, both of them smiling for cameras that cost more than Malik's car. Malik stares at the image. His brain can't connect this Luna, polished, perfect, dressed in designer clothes, with the girl who fell asleep on his couch clutching a one-eyed bear. Damon Holloway, Rusk repeats slowly, like he's explaining to a child. Net worth, $400 million. CEO of Holloway Tech Philanthropist. On the cover of Forbes twice. He taps the magazine. And you expect us to believe his daughter just appeared on a bus stop in your neighborhood? Yes. Malik pushes the magazine away. Can't look at it anymore. Because that's what happened. Martinez sips his coffee. Steam curls up between them. Mr. Holloway's been looking for Luna for 2 weeks. Hired private investigators. Offered a $50,000 reward. He pauses, watches Malik's reaction. You didn't see any of that? The news coverage? The posters? I work 16-hour days. Malik's jaw tightens. I don't have time for news. Don't have cable. Don't have. He stops himself. Doesn't say I don't have anything. But they both hear it anyway. Rusk stands up, paces to the corner. His shoes click against the floor, sharp, military. He's studying Malik like a specimen. Like something to be figured out and filed away. Here's what I think happened, Rusk says, turning back around. I think you saw an opportunity. Saw a rich man's daughter, figured you'd wait it out. Let the reward money climb. Maybe even ask for ransom. His eyes narrow. That's kidnapping, Turner. Federal offense. 25 years minimum. The number drops like a stone. 25 years. Noah would be 32. A grown man. Malik would miss his son's entire life. I didn't kidnap anyone, Malik whispers. But his voice has no strength left in it. No fight. To understand how kindness became a crime, you need to see where it started. But in this room, with these men, with these lights buzzing overhead, and this mirror reflecting back nothing but guilt, the truth feels impossibly far away. Would they believe a man who can barely pay rent over a millionaire who can buy silence? Malik's apartment smells like burnt toast and determination. The space heater rattles in the corner, coughing out warmth that never quite reaches the bedroom. Noah's cough echoes through the thin walls. Wet, deep, the kind that's been hanging on for weeks. The expired milk carton sits on the counter because Malik can't afford to waste even spoiled food. He'll use it for pancakes tomorrow. Add extra vanilla. Noah won't know the difference. The kitchen clock reads 11:47 p.m. Malik's been home for 20 minutes. His shift at the diner ended at 11, but the buses run slow this late. He still smells like grease and dish soap, his hands raw and cracked despite the cheap lotion he keeps by the sink. He drops his keys in the bowl by the door, the ceramic one Tanya made in that pottery class 3 years ago, back when cancer was just a word other people said. The bowl's chipped on one side. Malik never got around to fixing it. Now he can't imagine throwing it away. Noah's backpack slumps against the wall, SpongeBob grinning up at nothing. Inside, Malik finds the math homework, half finished, eraser marks smudged across word problems Noah doesn't understand. If train A leaves the station at 3 p.m., traveling 60 miles per hour, Malik's eyes blur. He doesn't have the energy for this tonight. Doesn't have the energy for anything. But he sits down at the kitchen table anyway, pulls out a pencil, starts working through the problems so he can explain them to Noah tomorrow morning before school. The radiator clangs. Once, twice, then goes silent. Malik closes his eyes, counts to 10, prays it kicks back on. It doesn't. He walks to the bedroom, steps careful so the floorboards don't creak. Noah's asleep under 2 blankets and Tanya's old bathrobe, the one that still smells like her perfume if you press your face close enough. His son's face is peaceful in sleep, mouth slightly open, one hand curled under his cheek. Malik pulls the covers higher, tucks them tight. On the nightstand, Tanya smiles from a photo frame. The beach, 2 years before diagnosis, Noah a chubby toddler on her hip. Malik picks it up without meaning to. Studies her face like he might forget it if he looks away. Her eyes, her smile, the way she tilted her head when she laughed. He sets the photo down before the ache in his chest spreads to his throat. In the kitchen, bills cover the table like a paper minefield. Rent notice, final warning. $847 due by January 15th. Electric company, service interruption scheduled. Hospital, payment plan past due. The numbers blur together, all of them red, all of them screaming. Malik opens the freezer. Inside, wrapped in a grocery bag and hidden behind frozen peas, sits Tanya's wedding ring. White gold, small diamond. The jeweler on 5th Avenue offered him $400. Said he could get more if he waited, tried another shop. But Malik can't wait. Rent's due in 12 days. He closes the freezer without touching the ring. Not yet. Not tonight. The couch sags in the middle where Malik sleeps. The springs poke through the cushions, but it's better than making Noah sleep there. He lies down still wearing his work clothes, too tired to change. The ceiling has a water stain shaped like Texas. He's been staring at it for 2 years. His phone buzzes. Text from Jerome at the auto shop. Can you cover morning shift tomorrow? Carlos called out. Double pay. Malik types back, yes. He doesn't ask what double pay means. Doesn't matter. He'll take any amount, any hour, any chance to keep Noah fed and warm and safe. Sleep comes in pieces, broken, restless. He dreams of Tanya, dreams of hospitals, dreams of Noah asking for things Malik can't buy. Art supplies, field trip money, new shoes because his old ones have holes worn through the soles. At 3:17 a.m., Malik's eyes snap open. He stares at the Texas-shaped stain and thinks about the wedding ring in the freezer. Thinks about how love gets measured in dollars eventually, no matter how hard you fight it. Thinks about the man he used to be, the one who believed hard work was enough, who thought goodness got rewarded. He thought his breaking point had passed, until he saw the girl in the snow. The bus stop sits under a broken streetlight, swallowing shadows. Malik's headlights cut through the dark, catching something small and wrong. He almost drives past, almost convinces himself it's a pile of trash bags, a discarded coat, anything except what it actually is. But then the pile moves. He slams the brakes. The car fishtails on black ice, tires hissing against slush. His heart kicks against his ribs. He shifts into park, leaves the engine running, steps out into air so cold it burns his lungs. Snow falls in lazy spirals, the kind that looks pretty until you're standing in it. It hisses against his windshield, crunches under his boots. sticks to his eyelashes when he blinks. The girl sits on a small suitcase covered in stickers. Unicorns, rainbows, things that belong to children who still believe in magic. She can't be more than 5, maybe younger. Her feet are bare, red from cold, toes curling in on themselves. A pink blanket wraps around her shoulders, thin as paper. No coat, no shoes, no adult anywhere. Hey, sweetheart. Malik keeps his voice soft, the way he talks to Noah after nightmares. You okay? The girl doesn't look up. She clutches a stuffed bear, brown, missing one eye, the fur matted like it's been loved too hard for too long. Her breath comes out in small clouds. Malik crouches down, makes himself smaller. Less scary. The snow soaks through his jeans immediately, ice water against his knees. Where's your mom? Your dad? 5 seconds of silence. Then, so quiet he almost misses it. My daddy didn't come back. The words punch through Malik's chest. He looks around, left, right, behind. The street is empty. No cars. No houses with lights on. Just darkness and snow and this child who shouldn't be here. How long have you been sitting here? He asks. She shrugs. Doesn't know? Can't know. Time moves different when you're 5 and alone and freezing. Malik pulls out his phone. Dials 911. The line clicks, buzzes, connects. 911. What's your emergency? I found a little girl. Alone. Near the bus stop on Harper and 5th. She needs help. She's barefoot in the snow. The operator's voice is bored, mechanical. She's probably done this 1,000 times. Can you describe the child? Black. Maybe 5 years old. Pink blanket. No shoes. Malik watches the girl rock back and forth slightly, like she's trying to soothe herself. She's freezing. How fast can someone get here? We'll dispatch an officer. Stay with the child. Don't move her. How long? Could be 20 to 30 minutes. We're understaffed tonight. 30 minutes. Malik looks at the girl's blue lips, her shaking hands. 30 minutes might as well be forever. I'll wait, he says, and ends the call. He sits down next to her on the curb, his body blocking the wind. She doesn't move away, doesn't look at him, just keeps rocking, keeps holding that bear. What's his name? Malik asks, nodding at the stuffed animal. Another long pause. Then, Mr. Buttons. That's a good name. Malik unzips his work jacket, the one that smells like fryer grease and failure. He drapes it over her shoulders. It swallows her whole. You like hot chocolate? A tiny nod. Me too. My son, Noah, he puts way too many marshmallows in his. Like, the whole cup is just marshmallows floating in a little bit of chocolate. Malik tries to smile. You think that's too many marshmallows? The corner of her mouth twitches. Not quite a smile, but close. 20 minutes pass. Then 30. The snow falls harder. Malik's phone dies. No cruiser appears. No help comes. The girl's shaking gets worse, her whole body trembling despite his jacket. Malik stands up, looks down the empty street one more time. Nothing. Nobody. He crouches in front of her again, looks into eyes that are too old for her face. Listen, sweetheart. I live 10 minutes from here. It's warm. You can call your daddy from my phone. We can wait there until the police come. Okay. She studies him for a long moment, then glances at the empty street. At the dark. At the cold that won't stop biting. Okay, she whispers. Malik scoops her up, suitcase and all. She weighs almost nothing. He carries her to his car, buckles her into the back seat, cranks the heat as high as it goes. His hands shake on the steering wheel. Not from cold. From the choice he just made. He told himself one night. One night wouldn't change anything. But as he drives away from that bus stop, leaving behind the broken streetlight and the place where someone abandoned this child, he knows that's a lie. Some nights change everything. Luna eats macaroni like she's been starving. Because she has been. The fork scrapes against the plastic plate. Yellow, the one with cartoon dinosaurs Noah picked out last year. She shovels food into her mouth so fast she barely chews. Cheese sauce smears across her chin. Her small fingers grip the fork like someone might take it away. Across the table, Noah pushes his own plate toward her. You can have mine too, he says. His voice is gentle, shy. He's never had to share his space before. Never had a sibling. But something in him recognizes her hunger because he's felt it too. Not for food, but for something else equally necessary. Malik's throat tightens. He divides his own portion in half without saying anything. Gives Noah back some of what he sacrificed. They've perfected this dance, The quiet arithmetic of not enough. What's your name? Malik asks, keeping his voice soft. The girl swallows, wipes her mouth with the back of her hand. Luna. Luna. That's pretty. I'm Malik. This is Noah. She nods, but doesn't speak again. Just keeps eating. After dinner, Malik runs a bath. The water takes forever to warm up, the pipes groaning like they're in pain. He finds an old bottle of Noah's baby shampoo under the sink, tear-free, mostly empty. Luna sits in the tub, knees pulled to her chest, while Malik gently works through the tangles in her hair. Her clothes sit in a pile on the floor. No tags, no labels. But the fabric is soft, expensive soft, the kind that doesn't come from discount stores. Malik notices, but doesn't understand. Not yet. He dresses her in one of Noah's old t-shirts. It hangs past her knees like a nightgown. Her feet are still bare, red marks fading on her toes. Tomorrow he'll find her shoes. Tomorrow he'll figure out where she came from. Tonight, she just needs to be warm. Noah gives up his bed without being asked. He grabs his pillow and heads for the couch. She can have my room, he says, like it's obvious. Like sharing what little you have is the only choice that makes sense. Malik tucks Luna under Noah's Avengers comforter. Mr. Button sits beside her, his one eye staring at nothing. She looks so small in that bed, so vulnerable, like the world could swallow her whole and never notice. It's just for one night, Malik promises, pulling the blanket up to her chin. We'll find your daddy tomorrow. I promise. But tomorrow comes, and there's no missing persons report that matches Luna's description. Malik calls the police again, different dispatcher, same bored voice. No record of his first call. No Amber Alert. No frantic father looking for a barefoot child. It's like she appeared out of nowhere. Day 3, Malik stops at the thrift store on Madison Street. $5 buys a winter coat. Purple, slightly too big, but warm. $3 gets shoes that almost fit. Luna wears them without complaint. Without joy either. Just accepts them the way she accepts everything else. Quietly, carefully, like she's used to taking whatever comes. Noah teaches her how to color inside the lines. They sprawl on the living room floor, crayons scattered like rainbow confetti. Noah's laughter fills the apartment. High, bright, real. Malik pauses in the kitchen, dish towel in hand, and listens to a sound he thought was gone forever. Joy. Day 5, Malik enrolls Luna at Grove Elementary. He lies on the registration form, says she's his niece, staying temporarily while family figures things out. The school secretary barely glances at the paperwork, just takes the form, makes copies, hands him a lunch account number. That easy. That simple. Like Luna's always been his. Noah holds her hand on the walk to school, shows her the shortcuts, points out the crossing guard who always gives high fives. Luna watches everything with wide eyes, soaking it in, saying little. But at recess, Malik sees her smile. Small, quick, gone before he's sure it happened. But it happened. Night 7, Luna falls asleep on Malik's shoulder while they watch a cartoon neither of them is really following. Her breathing slows, evens out. Her small hand curls into his shirt. Noah's already asleep on the other side, his head in Malik's lap. Malik sits perfectly still, afraid to move. Afraid to break whatever this is. The apartment is cramped. The heater still rattles. Bills still cover the kitchen table. Nothing's changed about his life, except everything has. He realizes, with a jolt that feels like falling, that he's been skipping meals. Not consciously, not dramatically, just eating less so Luna can eat more. Giving up his coffee so Noah can have juice. Sacrificing in ways so small he didn't notice until now. But his body noticed. His stomach noticed. The scale in the bathroom noticed. 10 pounds lighter in 1 week. Still, when he looks at Luna sleeping, her face peaceful for the first time since he found her, it's worth it. Every sacrifice worth it. For the first time since Tanya's funeral, Malik feels whole. Just before the world shatters him completely. What happens when the family you build becomes the one they take away? The sirens start as whispers, then swallow the street whole. Malik's hand freezes on the car door handle. Luna and Noah are already buckled in the back seat, backpacks between them, arguing about whose turn it is to pick the radio station. Normal. Safe. The kind of moment Malik's been collecting like treasures for the past week. Then the red and blue lights explode across his windshield. 2 cruisers. 4 doors opening at once. Boots hitting pavement in synchronized rhythm. Parents waiting at the school pickup line press themselves against their cars, phones rising like a coordinated attack. Mr. Turner? The comm officer, Martinez, approaches first, hands visible, movements careful. We need you to step out of the vehicle. Malik's pulse hammers in his ears. What's this about? Just step out, sir. Martinez's voice is professional, distant, like they've never met before. Behind him, Sergeant Rusk emerges from the second cruiser. His face is stone. His swagger is victory. He's been waiting for this moment. Malik opens the door slowly. His legs feel disconnected from his body. The January air bites through his work shirt. He came straight from the auto shop, still wearing jeans stained with motor oil. His hands shake as he raises them. What's going on? Luna's voice cuts through the chaos. Hi. Terrified. Where are they taking him? Stay in the car, baby, Malik says, trying to keep his voice steady. It's okay. It's just a misunderstanding. But it's not okay. Rusk closes the distance fast. His cologne hits Malik before his hands do. Expensive, suffocating. Malik Turner, you're being questioned for child abduction. The words detonate like grenades. Abduction. The crowd gasps. Phones angle for better shots. The school principal emerges from the building, hand covering her mouth, eyes wide with horror and excitement. That's insane. Malik tries to step back. His spine hits the car door. I found her. I called 911. You can check. Hands behind your head. Rusk's voice is ice. Now. Dad. Noah's scream tears through everything else. He's unbuckling, reaching for the door handle. Luna's crying, her small fists pounding the window from inside. Stay in the car. Martinez shouts, positioning himself between the children and the scene. Malik's hands move to his head, fingers lacing. The position of surrender, of guilt. Cameras click. Flash. Someone films from the school steps. A mother pulls her daughter close, whispering urgently. The vice principal speaks into her radio. Rusk grabs Malik's wrist, twists it down and back. The metal cuffs snap closed, left wrist, then right. Cold. Tight. The edges bite into bone. Malik gasps despite himself. You people always got an excuse. Rusk's breath is hot against Malik's ear, his voice low enough that the cameras won't catch it. Always playing victim. The words land like punches. You people. Malik's vision blurs at the edges. His chest tightens. He tries to breathe, can't. The crowd presses closer. A woman in yoga pants films from 3 feet away, her lens zooming in on his face. Someone laughs, short, nervous, cruel. Please, Malik says, hating how broken he sounds. Just let me explain to my son. Your son. Rusk yanks him forward. Malik stumbles, his knees hitting the ground. Asphalt tears through denim. Pain shoots up his legs. That's funny. The girl in your car isn't your daughter, so why should we believe the boy is your son? Luna explodes from the car. Martinez tries to catch her, but she's too fast, too desperate. She throws herself at Rusk, her small fists hammering against his legs. Stop it. You're hurting him. He didn't steal me. He saved me. Rusk doesn't even look down, just keeps dragging Malik to his feet. Noah follows Luna out, his face soaked with tears. That's my dad. He didn't do anything. Tell them, Dad. Tell them. But Malik can't speak. His throat's closed up. His vision tunnels. All he can see is his son's face, terrified, betrayed, watching his father get treated like a criminal in front of everyone who matters. Martinez scoops Luna up, holds her against his chest even as she kicks and screams. Another officer, young, uncomfortable, tries to guide Noah toward a white van with county plates. Child Services. Noah rips away from his grip, runs back to Malik. Don't let them take me. Dad, don't let them. Rusk shoves Malik against the cruiser. His cheek slams into metal. The impact rattles his teeth. He tastes copper, blood from where he bit his tongue. Resisting arrest, Rusk announces loudly, for the cameras. For the record. For the narrative he's building. Adding that to the charges. I'm not resisting, Malik whispers. But nobody hears him. They fold him into the back seat. Head pushed down, body shoved inside. The door slams. Suddenly the world is muffled. Distant. Luna's still screaming. Noah's still crying. The crowd's still watching. But it all sounds like it's happening underwater. Through the window, Malik watches Martinez finally get Luna back in the county van. She's fighting him every step. Her face is red, her mouth open in a scream he can't hear anymore. Noah follows, limp now, defeated. The door closes on both of them. The cruiser pulls away from the curb. Malik twists in his seat, watching his son get smaller through the rear window, watching the crowd disperse, watching his life collapse into a single moment that will define him forever in this neighborhood. The kidnapper from Grove Elementary. The man who seemed so quiet, so kind. They always said something was off about him. Rusk meets his eyes in the rearview mirror. Bet you thought you hit the jackpot, huh? He chuckles, low, satisfied. Poor single dad finds rich man's kid. Play your cards right. Maybe get a reward. Another laugh. Should have asked for the money up front, Turner. Now you get nothing but a cell. Malik doesn't respond. Can't. His mind is racing, trying to understand how saving a child became a crime. How kindness became evidence. How being poor made him guilty before anyone asked a single question. The streetlights blur past. Left turn. Right turn. The city slides by outside. Buildings he recognizes. Corners he's walked 1,000 times. Everything familiar. Everything changed. How do you defend yourself when the world already decided you're guilty? The magazine hits the interrogation table like a verdict. Glossy. Expensive. The kind sold at airport bookstores to people who fly first class. On the cover, a man stands in front of a glass mansion that looks like it was designed by someone who forgot houses are supposed to feel like homes. His suit probably costs more than Malik's car. His watch catches the light. Gold. Heavy. The kind that announces wealth before you even read the price tag. Luna sits on his shoulders. Tiny. Perfect. Wearing a white dress and a tiara that looks real. Both of them smile for cameras that cost more than Malik makes in a year. The headline reads, Damon Holloway, tech mogul, philanthropist, father. Malik stares at the image. His brain struggles to connect this Luna, polished, privileged, posed, with the girl who ate day-old macaroni and slept in Noah's hand-me-down t-shirt. With the girl who cried herself to sleep clutching a one-eyed bear. Damon Holloway, Rusk says, his voice dripping with satisfaction. He leans back in his chair, arms crossed, watching Malik's face like it's entertainment. Net worth, $400 million. CEO of Holloway Tech. On the cover of Forbes twice. He taps the magazine with one finger. Luna disappeared from her nanny's car 2 weeks ago. Mr. Holloway's been searching everywhere. Private investigators. $50,000 reward. A pause. And somehow, she ends up with you. 2 weeks. The number settles in Malik's chest like lead. He'd had Luna for 7 days. Which means she was missing for 7 days before that. 7 days of nobody finding her. 7 days of a millionaire's resources somehow failing to locate a 5-year-old child. I didn't know who she was, Malik says. His voice sounds hollow. She didn't tell me her last name. She said her daddy didn't come back. I thought. You thought what? Rusk leans forward now, elbows on the table. That a rich man's daughter would be wandering around your neighborhood in the snow? Barefoot. His laugh is sharp. Mean. Come on, Turner. Even you're not that stupid. Malik's hands curl into fists under the table. His wrists still ache where the cuffs dug in. Red marks circle both wrists like evidence. I called 911, he says again, knowing it sounds weak. Knowing they don't believe him. I waited. Nobody came. What was I supposed to do? Leave her there to freeze? You were supposed to bring her to a hospital, a police station, child services. Rusk counts off on his fingers like he's explaining to a child. Not take her home. Not keep her for a week. Not enroll her in school under a fake name. I didn't use a fake name. I said she was my niece temporarily. Because that's not fraud. Rusk's smile doesn't reach his eyes. That's not filing a false report. That's not illegal custody of a minor. The charges stack up like bricks, building a wall Malik can't see over. His throat tightens. His chest squeezes. He tries to breathe, can't. Martinez sits quietly in the corner, watching. His coffee's gone cold, steam no longer rising. He hasn't said a word in 10 minutes. Just observes. Calculates. Decides. Mr. Holloway arrives in 20 minutes, Martinez finally says. His voice is careful, neutral. He'll want to see Luna. And he'll want answers. 20 minutes. Malik looks at the clock on the wall. The second hand moves like it's drowning. Tick, tick, tick. Each second pulling him closer to a confrontation he can't win. A rich man versus a poor man. A father who can buy justice versus a father who can barely afford dinner. What happens to Noah? Malik asks suddenly. While I'm here. Who's with my son? Rusk shrugs. Child services, probably. They'll find him a temporary placement until we sort this out. Temporary placement. The words are knives. Noah in a stranger's house. Sleeping in a stranger's bed. Eating at a stranger's table. Wondering why his dad didn't protect him. Why his dad let them take him away. He didn't do anything wrong, Malik says, his voice cracking. He's 7. He doesn't understand what's happening. You can't. We can do whatever we want. Rusk stands up, stretches like this is boring him. That's what happens when you break the law, Turner. Consequences spread. Maybe you should have thought about your son before you decided to play house with someone else's daughter. The fluorescent light buzzes overhead. Flicker. Buzz. Flicker. Malik's reflection stares back at him from the one-way mirror. Exhausted, broken, guilty. He looks at his hands. Calloused. Stained with motor oil he couldn't scrub out. Hands that worked 16-hour days. Hands that fed Luna and tucked her in and promised her she was safe. Hands that weren't good enough. The door opens. A blast of cold air. Heavy footsteps. Expensive cologne mixing with the interrogation room's bleach smell. Damon Holloway enters like he owns the building. Tall. Composed. Dressed in a suit that probably cost more than Malik's rent. His jaw is tight. His eyes are stone. Behind him, 2 lawyers in matching ties carry briefcases that look like weapons. He doesn't look at Malik. Not yet. Just speaks to Rusk in a voice used to being obeyed. Where is she? Safe, Mr. Holloway. With child services. You can see her in a few minutes. Rusk's entire demeanor changes. Respectful. Deferential. The shift is instant and complete. We have the suspect in custody. We're building a case for. I want to speak with him. Damon's gaze finally lands on Malik. It's like being pinned under a spotlight. Studied. Judged. Found lacking. Alone. Rusk hesitates. Sir, I don't think that's. Alone. The lawyers exit first. Then Martinez. Then Rusk, slowly, like he's leaving something precious behind. The door clicks shut. Silence fills the room like water. Damon studies Malik for a long moment. Takes in the oil-stained jeans. The worn work boots. The exhaustion carved into every line of his face. The distance between them isn't just physical. It's economic. Social. A chasm too wide to cross. You're the man who took my daughter, Damon says. Not a question. A fact. Malik meets his gaze. Holds it. I'm the man who found your daughter freezing at a bus stop. Alone. Barefoot. In January. His voice is quiet but steady. I'm the man who kept her alive while nobody came looking. Damon's jaw tightens. A muscle jumps in his cheek. I called for help, Malik continues. Nobody came. I checked missing persons reports every single day. Nothing matched. No Amber Alert. No news coverage. Nothing. He leans forward slightly, chains rattling. Where were you, Mr. Holloway? Where were your private investigators? Your $50,000 reward. A pause. Where were you when your daughter needed you? The question hangs between them like an accusation. For the first time, something cracks in Damon's expression. Something raw. Something human. But when Damon finally met the man accused of stealing his child, everything he believed about guilt and innocence shattered like glass. Because sometimes the truth doesn't live where money expects to find it. Daddy. Luna's scream cuts through the precinct like a siren. She tears away from the social worker's grip, her small feet slapping against linoleum. Damon drops to his knees just as she crashes into him, her arms wrapping around his neck so tight it hurts. He buries his face in her hair, unwashed, tangled, smelling like cheap shampoo and something else. Something that isn't home. Baby, he whispers, his voice breaking on the word. Baby, I'm here. I'm so sorry. I'm here now. Luna sobs into his shoulder. Her whole body shakes. For a moment, nothing else exists. Not the lawyers, not the officers, not the man sitting in handcuffs 20 feet away. Just a father and daughter finding each other again. But reality creeps back in. Damon pulls away slightly, cups Luna's face in his hands. Searches for injuries. Bruises. Signs of trauma. Her cheeks are thinner than he remembers. Her eyes have shadows underneath. But she's whole. Alive. Here. Did he hurt you? Damon asks, his voice low. Controlled. Did that man hurt you in any way? No. Luna's response is instant. Fierce. Her little hands grab his suit jacket. Daddy, he kept me safe. He gave me food. He let me sleep in his son's bed. They didn't have a lot, but they gave me everything. The words don't compute. Damon's brain tries to reconcile them with what Rusk told him, with the narrative he'd built during 2 weeks of searching. Kidnapper. Ransom. Criminal. Luna. Sweetheart, I need you to tell me the truth. Damon's hands tremble slightly. He steadies them. Did he take you? Did he tell you to lie? Nobody took me. Luna's voice rises, frustration mixing with tears. Miss Sheridan left me at the bus stop. She said she'd be right back. She never came back. Her lip quivers. I waited and waited. It got dark. It got cold. I thought nobody wanted me anymore. Miss Sheridan, the nanny, the woman Damon paid $60,000 a year to keep his daughter safe while he traveled, while he worked, while he built an empire and forgot to build a home. Then he came. Luna continues, her voice softening. Mr. Malik. He stopped his car. He called the police, but they didn't come. So he took me home. She looks at her father with eyes too knowing for 5 years old. He was nice, Daddy. Like you used to be. The last sentence lands like a blade between Damon's ribs. Used to be. He stands slowly, Luna still in his arms. Looks through the window into the interrogation room where Malik sits, head bowed, hands cuffed, everything about him screaming defeat. Rusk appears at Damon's elbow. We can proceed with charges, Mr. Holloway. Kidnapping. False imprisonment. Child endangerment. We can make sure he never. No. Rusk blinks. Sir. I said no. Damon's voice is steel-wrapped in silk. The voice that closes billion-dollar deals. The voice that fires executives without blinking. Uncuff him. Now. Mr. Holloway, with all due respect, this man held your daughter for 7 days without reporting. This man saved my daughter's life while I was too busy closing deals in San Francisco to notice she was missing. Damon's gaze cuts to Rusk. While you were too busy profiling him to check if his 911 call was real. While everyone failed her, he didn't. He adjusts Luna in his arms. So uncuff him. Apologize. And find me the nanny who abandoned my daughter at a bus stop in January. The precinct goes silent. Martinez moves first. He enters the interrogation room. Keys already in hand. The cuffs come off with 2 soft clicks. Malik rubs his wrists, not looking up, not believing yet that this is over. Damon enters the room, sets Luna down. She runs to Malik immediately, throws her arms around his waist. Thank you, she says, muffled against his shirt. Thank you for the macaroni. Thank you for Mr. Buttons. Thank you for being nice. Malik's hands hover over her head for a moment before settling gently. His eyes are wet. He doesn't try to hide it. You're welcome, baby girl, he whispers. Damon watches this, really watches. Sees how Luna clings to this stranger. How Malik's touch is gentle despite everything. How real affection looks when it's not performed for cameras or quarterly reports. He extends his hand. Mr. Turner, I owe you an apology. Malik looks at the hand like it might disappear, then takes it. His grip is rough, calloused, real. I'm sorry, Damon continues, and means it. For what you went through. For how you were treated. For his voice catches. For not being there when she needed me. Malik nods slowly. You're here now? That's what matters. I want to compensate you. Damon releases his hand. For your time. Your expenses. The trauma of being arrested. I'll cover any legal fees. I don't want your money. The words stop Damon cold. In his world, money solves everything. Buys anything. Fixes problems. Silences guilt. But Malik's shaking his head, his expression clear. Certain. I didn't help Luna for a reward, Malik says quietly. I helped her because she needed help. That's it. He glances at Luna, then back at Damon. I just want to go home to my son. Make sure he's okay. That's all I want. For a long moment, Damon can't speak. Can't process someone turning down money. Turning down the solution he's offering. Then he nods. Understands something fundamental has shifted in how he sees the world. At least let me make sure no charges are filed, Damon says. And he hesitates. I'd like Luna to stay in touch with your family. If that's okay with you. Malik's expression softens. She's welcome anytime. Outside, the lawyers handle the paperwork. Rusk disappears into his office, his body cam footage mysteriously available now that it matters. Martinez personally drives Malik to the county office where Noah's waiting, confused, scared, but safe. The reunion happens in a gray waiting room that smells like industrial carpet and broken families. Noah runs to his father, crashes into him hard enough to hurt. Malik drops to his knees, wraps his son in arms that finally stopped shaking. I'm sorry. Malik whispers into Noah's hair. I'm so sorry, buddy. It's over now. We're going home. Together? Noah asks, his voice small. We're going home together? Together. Would forgiveness come from the man who had every reason to destroy him? Or would justice take a different form than anyone expected? 3 weeks pass like held breath. The envelope arrives on a Tuesday, wedged between an overdue electric bill and a grocery store coupon book. No return address. Just Malik's name written in handwriting too perfect to be real, printed by someone who pays people to write their personal correspondence. Inside, a check for $50,000. The number blurs. Malik blinks, reads it again. 50,000. More money than he's seen in his entire life. More money than Tanya's medical bills. More money than 3 years of rent. A note card falls out, heavy paper, embossed letterhead. Holloway Industries. Mr. Turner, for the heater. For the groceries. For showing my daughter what kindness looks like when it costs everything. I cannot repay what you sacrificed, but I can ensure you never have to sacrifice that way again. With deepest gratitude, Damon Holloway. Malik sits at his kitchen table for 20 minutes. Just staring. The check feels like a test. Like a trap. Like something that will evaporate if he breathes too hard. Noah comes home from school, drops his backpack by the door. What's that? A check. Malik's voice sounds distant. A big one. Are we rich now? Noah asks it simply, like it's a yes or no question. Like money is binary. Malik folds the check, slides it back in the envelope. No, buddy, we're not. Thursday morning, Malik walks to the community center on 8th Street. The building needs paint. The parking lot has potholes big enough to swallow shopping carts. Inside, Mrs. Chun runs the struggling single-parent fund from a desk covered in donation jars and desperate requests. I'd like to make a donation, Malik says. Mrs. Chun looks up, adjusts her glasses, recognizes him from the news coverage, the poor man falsely accused. Her expression softens immediately. Mr. Turner, you don't have to. I want to. He slides the envelope across her desk. For the fund. For families who need heat. Food. A break. Mrs. Chin opens the envelope. Her hand flies to her mouth. Oh my God. Malik, this is $50,000. I know. You could pay off your debts. Get a better apartment. Save for Noah's college. I know. Malik's voice is steady. Certain. But other families need it more. Use it to help them. That's all I want. Anonymous donation? Mrs. Chin asks, tears in her eyes. Anonymous. Because some things are worth more than money. Worth more than comfort. Worth more than the life he could buy with that check. Worth remembering what matters when the world tries to make you forget. That evening, snow falls soft and lazy outside Malik's apartment window. The heater still rattles. He never fixed it with the check money, but somehow it bothers him less now. Noah does homework at the kitchen table, humming while he works. The math problems don't seem as impossible today. A knock at the door. Malik opens it to find Luna standing there, holding Damon's hand. She's wearing a new coat, expensive, warm, pink like the blanket she had that first night. But she's still clutching Mr. Buttons, his one eye staring at nothing. We made cookies, Luna announces, holding up a plate wrapped in foil. Chocolate chip, Noah's favorite. Malik smiles, the kind of smile that's been missing from his life for too long. Come in. It's cold out there. They crowd into the small apartment. Damon looks around. Takes in the cramped space, the rattling heater, the water-stained ceiling. But he doesn't judge. Just nods. Understands something he couldn't before. Luna and Noah disappear into the bedroom, already laughing about something only 7-year-olds find hilarious. Damon and Malik stand awkwardly in the kitchen, two fathers from different worlds trying to find common ground. I heard what you did, Damon says quietly. With the check. Malik shrugs. Felt right. Most people wouldn't have done that. Most people aren't me. It's not arrogance. Just truth. Simple. Clear. Damon pulls out a business card. Sets it on the counter. I know you said you don't want money, but I run a tech company. We need good people. Honest people. He meets Malik's eyes. If you ever want a different kind of work, better hours, better pay, call me. No strings. Just an offer. Malik picks up the card. Studies it. The weight of it. The possibility of it. I'll think about it, he says. That's all I ask. They eat cookies, store-bought but homemade, imperfect but warm. Luna tells stories about kindergarten. Noah shows off his latest drawing. Damon listens like he's learning a language he forgot how to speak. Malik watches them all, this impossible family constellation that shouldn't exist but does. Outside, snow continues falling. Soft, quiet, covering the city in white that will be dirty gray by morning. But for now, it's beautiful. For now, they're together. 3 months later, Luna visits every Sunday. It becomes routine. Damon drops her off after breakfast, picks her up before dinner. She and Noah have matching coloring books now. Inside jokes. The kind of sibling relationship that isn't blood but bone deep anyway. Malik takes the job at Holloway Industries. Quality control manager. 40 hours a week. Benefits. A salary that lets him fix the heater and buy Noah new shoes and sleep more than 4 hours a night. He keeps the apartment. Doesn't need bigger, doesn't want different. Just needs enough. Damon starts showing up for Sunday dinners. Brings takeout. Too much food, expensive restaurants Noah can't pronounce. But they eat together anyway, talking about nothing important. Sports, weather, small moments that add up to something larger. One evening, while the kids watch cartoons, Damon asks quietly, "Do you regret it? Finding her that night? All the trouble it caused?" Malik considers the question. Really considers it. Thinks about the handcuffs, the humiliation, the fear, the way his life could have ended that day in so many ways. Then he looks at Luna laughing at something on TV. At Noah beside her, happy. At the life they built from nothing but kindness and stubbornness. "No," Malik says simply. "I don't regret it at all." Because in the end, Malik learned that doing right may cost you, but it never leaves you empty. That sometimes a single act of compassion can expose the cruelty of the world and heal it too. The richest man isn't the one with money. It's the one with mercy. And sometimes the greatest inheritance we leave isn't wealth. It's kindness witnessed, love given, choices made when nobody's watching and nothing's guaranteed except the chance to be decent. That's the kind of rich that matters. That's the kind of rich that lasts. What would you have done that night at the bus stop? Driven past or stopped to help? If this story moved you, if it made you think about the choices you make when nobody's watching, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to remember that kindness still exists. That doing right still matters. That one person's compassion can ripple outward in ways we'll never fully measure. Tell it to your kids, your neighbors, the stranger at the coffee shop who looks like they've forgotten the world has good people in it. Because stories like this, stories about ordinary people making extraordinary choices, they're the antidote to cynicism. The evidence that humanity hasn't lost its way completely. They're the reminder that we all stand at bus stops sometimes. Cold, alone, waiting for someone to see us, to stop, to care enough to inconvenience themselves on our behalf. And we all drive past bus stops too. Make split-second decisions about whether to get involved or keep moving. Whether to risk our comfort for someone else's crisis. The question isn't whether you'll face that moment. The question is, what will you choose when you do? Malik drives home that night with Noah asleep in the back seat. Luna's goodbye hug still warm on his chest. The city slides past his windows. Same streets, same corners, same buildings. But everything looks different now. Not because anything changed. Because he did. He parks outside his apartment building. The streetlight flickers above his car. Still broken, still neglected by the city. But it doesn't feel as dark anymore. He carries Noah upstairs, tucks him into bed without waking him. Stands in the doorway watching his son sleep. Safe, loved, protected. Not by money or power or anything the world values. Protected by choices. By a father who refused to let circumstances make him cruel. Who chose compassion over convenience. Who taught his son through actions, not lectures, that decency isn't optional, it's essential. That's the inheritance that matters. That's the wealth that compounds across generations. Malik turns off the light, closes the door, walks to his own room where the ceiling still leaks and the heater still rattles and nothing is perfect, but everything is enough. He sleeps dreamlessly, peacefully, the sleep of a man with a clear conscience, the sleep of a man who stopped at the bus stop. Sometimes the greatest act of rebellion against an unjust world is simple kindness. Sometimes the most radical thing you can do is care when it costs you everything to care. And sometimes the measure of a life isn't what you accumulated. It's what you gave away when you had nothing left to give. What will you do the next time you see someone at the bus stop?